Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new here, my name is Ngozi and welcome to Discover Ngozi. So as you can tell from the title, you already know what this video is about, so let's just get straight into it. So for all my girls and boys that are planning on doing a master's, this video is kind of like an advice video of what you should expect, how it's different from doing a degree, and yeah, just all my advice, all my tips, all my tricks, my mistakes and things I could have done better, and just anything I feel like will be good for you guys. Note to self, upload this video before the reintroduction. So the first thing I've got on here is how to prepare for your masters. For me, what I started doing, I started applying for my masters in March 2020. At that time, I was still in my final year at University of Essex, where I did business management. So I started applying for my masters. I didn't use UCAS. I don't know if you still use UCAS for your masters, but I applied straight from the university. So at the time, I applied for University of Leeds, University of Manchester, University of Birmingham, and I also applied for Leeds, Manchester, Birmingham, Regents. So those are my 4 options. And how it worked for me, I'm a Christian, so I pray about everything. So I wasn't sure which university I wanted to go to. Regents were the first to reply to me. They were very proactive. They were very, on it. But because I'm not the type of person that really cares about Russell Group unis, but because I'd already gone to a university that was a really good uni, but was not a Russell Group uni, I just wanted to give myself the opportunity to go to a better uni. And I'll explain why I do this later. So I applied. I wanted it to be a Russell Group uni. So when I got an offer from Regents, a conditional offer, I was still looking to get into either Manchester or Birmingham or Leeds. So masters usually starts in September. So I applied 6 months in advance. And how I made my decision of coming to Birmingham, I prayed about it. I was just like, my prayer point was like, God, like, I don't know which of these universities would be best for me. They all look pretty good for what I want to study. And I knew I wanted to study marketing or anything like marketing, business administration, international business. I knew that I wanted to be in the field of business. So I was like, whichever university is best for me, make it be the university that is the most proactive. So at first it was Regents, but then their replies started slowing down. So I narrowed it down to Manchester, Leeds, Birmingham. And that's when I made that prayer point. And literally it's so funny because the minute I prayed about that, Manchester were keeping me on some long thing. Like they were not replying to me. Like Leeds was not, Birmingham was the only one that was like proactive. So I was like, okay, this is not a sign. I don't know what is. So I kind of narrowed my focus to Birmingham. So that's how I prepared for it. And in an academic point of view, I prepared for it by making sure I got that 2-1. I obviously did everything I could in myself to make sure that I was getting good grades because I had to get a 2-1 to come to Birmingham. And I actually ended up getting a really high 2-1. So I was able to meet the entry requirement. After preparing, the next step that I would advise people to do is prepare your deposit. So you've gotten your grades back now, you've gotten your uni or unis, and you've gotten your conditional offers, and you've met the conditional offers. Well done. Now it's time to prepare the deposit. I'm an international student. I know for the most part people are home students, but there's some international students out here that this might be useful for. So Birmingham actually asked for a non-refunded deposit of 2K. When I saw that, I was like, 2K, that's a lot of money. So I told my mom, and I was like, Mom, this is a deposit. And I was thinking, God, like, because at the time I actually hadn't gotten it was like a few weeks before my results were out, so I wasn't sure if I made the grade criteria. And it was like, that's a lot of money to put down, and you're not getting back. And it's so cheeky because I think for home students it is refundable, but that's another problem, that these universities, the way they treat home international students, terrible. But yeah, get your deposit ready. It might be different for you. It might be 500, it might be more, whatever it is. Prepare the deposit. If you're working, if you're getting support from your family, get ready to pay some form of a deposit. A lot of times it will be non-refundable. So that is the next step. Now, accommodation. My accommodation I chose in August because that's when the accommodation portals opened for me. Make sure for my accommodation choices, my priorities were choosing a place that had an ensuite. That's a priority for me. I don't like sharing bathrooms. I cannot share bathrooms with strangers. Never, please, God. Like, that's my worst nightmare. I'm a hygiene freak. So choose your priorities in terms of living situations. Do you mind sharing a bathroom? Do you not mind sharing a bathroom? That was my first step. My second step was distance to uni. Where I lived was a good 15 to 20 minute walk away from university, which was not that bad for me. That might be too much for you. So make sure you check the distance to uni. Then third step was like how it looked and everything, because I wanted it to be somewhere like look quite modern. And I've done a few tours. Check out my tour if you haven't already. It'll pop on the screen somewhere. You're on accommodation before, this is freshers week, before uni starts. There's a misconception that master's students just work or work in no place. Sorry, but that's a whole lot of bull. Like, a lot of my friends were like, oh my God, it doesn't even look like you're doing a master's. Like, you're going out all the time. It's like, no, it's called balance. Like, I was actually successfully able to balance my social life and my academic life. I went out a fair amount of times, and I also worked. Like, with my vlogs and stuff that I used to do before, I think some people thought that I was just partying. No, I was working. I actually did have work. You can balance your time. The way I did it, I kind of allowed myself go out either on, why has the light just dropped, please? So I allowed myself go out either on Fridays or Saturdays. I would allow myself to go out once a week. When I say go out, I mean like if you're into like going out, like, you know, mingling with friends and stuff, house parties, whatever. That was like what I allowed myself to do at least once a week. And the other times, obviously, I schedule time for work. So I'd say balance your time. Don't let people make you think that just because you're doing a master's, you're literally on your desk the whole time or the library. You don't have to have such a boring life. You can go out on the weekends so long as in the weekday your work is patterned. So find a balance. It's really hard. Balancing is one of the hardest things you have to learn as a student. But if you want a fair balance with your social life versus academic life, you have to try it. Even if that means Monday to Friday, work. Saturday, going out with some friends. Perfect. Just find what works for you. Balance is key. Otherwise, you know what will happen? You'll be extremely stressed. You end up with basically almost no friends, or just very little friends and very limited, and you just wouldn't have the best uni experience. So don't think just because you're a master's student, you can't have a good social life. I have to stress on that, because my 3 years at university was nothing compared to my 1 year doing my master's. Like, my university experience was my master's year. I met the best people. We had some amazing memories, the best times out. So it's crazy because usually it's the reverse, but for me it happened the other way. My university experience, the first time, I got it all wrong when it comes to like social life. Maybe I didn't get it all wrong, maybe I was just put with unfortunate people, but Birmingham was an experience. So don't deny yourself of having a good time. You can still, like, really and truly right now, I'm yet to get my grades, but I'm on track to get a merit. You can get a distinction. I really think you can get a distinction and still have a good social life, but I'll get into the grade criteria later. But I can't stress on it. Johnny that's watching this video, or Meredith or Mary, whoever's watching this video, if you're doing a master's, you can have a good social life. Let that enter your brain, and you can still get a good grade. Don't listen to people, they don't know what they're talking about. Now, let's talk about the difference about grade criteria and degree. So if you're doing a master's, you've done your degree, and in your degree, you get second class lower, second class upper, so 2-2, 2-1, first class. In masters, that is not, I'm pretty sure most uni, I don't know if it's every uni, but my University of Birmingham, and most unis, masters is pass, merit, distinction. That's it. For me, my grade criteria in University of Birmingham, 50% is a pass. Anything lower, if you like get 49.9%, it's a fail, which I think is so cheeky, but that's how it works. So 50% to 50% to 59 is a pass, 60% to 69 is a merit, and then 70 to anything up is a distinction. So that's how it works. We have 3 grading criteria as opposed to 4 in your degree year. So there's a big chunk of comparison. So be prepared for that. Now, your dissertation, guys. When I tell you my dissertation, you know that song, like the way I'm feeling now, I got one thing that distress me. Whenever I listen to that song, because I heard that song came out recently, didn't it? So every time I listen to that song, when he said there's one thing that's stressing me, all I think about is my dissertation, because guys, it's so hard. It's so hard. I can't stress how hard it is. You have to literally, let me even get myself together, because I'm bearing in mind, as I'm making this video, I'm still doing my dissertation, so it's still stressing me out. But what you should do when you get your dissertation, give yourself at least 3 months, no less than 3 months to work on your dissertation. I started working my dissertation after May. May was a big month for me. I had like 5 deadlines. So when I was done with that deadline, was leading up to my birthday. I had my birthday week. I gave myself a long time to relax, and then end of June, I started working my dissertation. Guys, start working your dissertation in May. Once the deadlines have gone, start. Don't leave it till the end, because it's a lot of work, and your dissertation means everything. It holds very high credits, so all the best for your dissertations. Make sure you get all your questions asked to your supervisors. Make sure you know what you're doing. Good luck with your dissertation. The teaching style in master's versus degree. In your degree, I feel like there's a lot more support. The teaching style here, you're very much OYO, or you're on your own. If you don't grab it, I mean, you have office hours. Take advantage of office hours. I did, but not all the time. I only did when I was really struggling. So take advantage of your office hours. Make sure you go to all your office hours, and yeah, go to all your office hours, basically, is what I'm saying. And make sure you get all your questions asked. Sometimes the lecturers will try to make you feel dumb. Doesn't matter. You're here for a year. You're trying to get the best grade possible. So make sure you ask all your questions and make use of all your extracurricular Russell Group unis. Why I did this in the beginning is because really and truly, a Russell Group uni, maybe it helps you get a better job, but I'm not going to lie. I just don't understand the hype, because when I tell you, the University of Essex, the only reason why it was bad for me, because my social life was really poor. So I made friends, don't get me wrong, friends I'm really grateful for, but for the most part, I didn't have the best social life. I went through loneliness in that uni, some dark times there, but the university support was on point. In Birmingham, the university, I can't stress it. I've said this in so many videos. The university support is, in my experience, has been rubbish. They don't help you. Guys, one little story time. One time, we did a group work, and when the marks came back, the teacher that marked it, she said, this is such an excellent piece of work. With the permission of your group, I would like to use it as a sample for other students. Guys, she gave us 60%. What was so excellent about it? I'm sorry, what was so excellent about it? Like, it's so excellent that you give us 60%. Like, it wasn't that excellent then, clearly. So they're just not very helpful. They mark very strictly. Like, the kind of things I would do here, I know that if I was in Essex, it would have been a first, but here it's just about a merit. So the grading criteria of Russell Group unis, to me, all it screams is they mark harsher and they support you less. That's what it screams to me. I can't even lie. But yeah, guys, so I hope this video was helpful to at least one person. Thank you for watching. If you've reached the end of it, please subscribe and like and leave a comment if you feel so. But yeah, bye guys.